Welcome back to Persona 2 Innocent Sin. I recently realized that people may not want to have to watch 23 episodes in order to know what's going on in the story. And so today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to attempt to summarize everything that's happened up to this point. All 23 episodes and the video that you're watching right now. I can't guarantee that it will be 100% correct, but it will at least let you know enough of the story to understand what's going on. It'll also be a nice refresher for the people who don't quite remember everything that's happened in the story so far. So let's begin. The story instantly introduces us to Tatsuya Suo and Lisa Silverman. Tatsuya Suo is the main character, so they don't really give us much information about him, they just let us name him. But I'm going to go with his default name. We also know that he happens to really love his lighter. He's proof that there's no greater bond than the bond between a boy and his lighter. Lisa Silverman is Tatsuya's girlfriend, or at least self-proclaimed girlfriend. She's a native Caucasian who's fluent in Japanese and knows Kung Fu. She's also the self-proclaimed hottest girl in school, so at least Tatsuya has that going for him. Lisa has come to give Tatsuya a message. However, before she does so, she sees that Tatsuya's uniform still has the school's emblem. Did I mention that they were both high schoolers at Seven Sisters High? That's probably important. She instantly tears the emblem off of Tatsuya's uniform and warns him about the rumor going around that the emblems are cursed. Then she proceeds to give him the message. It turns out there's a student from Seven Sisters High School who's being held hostage by the Kasugayama High School's gang boss. This of course is pretty serious, and instead of heading to the police, we start going to the prison right away. The game then cuts to the prison and introduces us to Miyabi Hanakoji and Eikichi Mitchell Mishina. Miyabi's nickname is Cozy, and I'm gonna start calling her Cozy from now on. She's the editor of the Seven Sisters High school paper and is currently investigating the emblem curse. Eikichi is a second year at Kasugayama High School, and he happens to be the boss of the entire school. He also has it in for Tatsuya. He's a bit narcissistic, and he's the lead vocalist in his band. It turns out Cozy is just at the prison to learn more about the curse, and Eikichi is not the one who brought her there, but it was Eikichi's gang members. The members explained to Eikichi that they lured Cozy here in order to get Tatsuya to come save her. Once Tatsuya and Lisa arrive, they explain that they want Tatsuya to join the band, because they can't find anyone else and they think Tatsuya will be pretty reliable. Eikichi now has no choice but to force Tatsuya into joining his band. Tatsuya of course resists, and Lisa insults Eikichi, which causes him to go berserk. He summons his persona in a fit of rage and attacks Lisa. This causes Lisa and Tatsuya's personas to appear for what is apparently the first time. All three of them collapse, and they're drawn into the realm between consciousness and unconsciousness by a being named Philemon. And no, Philemon is not a Digimon. I'm very disappointed by that. Philemon warns the trio that they will have to face a fearsome entity that has been released by their personas being activated. He tells them that the battle will soon begin and that rumors are now reality. Shortly after, the three wake up back into the real world. They decide to test if these rumors are true by playing the Joker game. In this game, you call your own cell phone and it summons a man who will grant your greatest desires. They call their cell phone and it happens to work. Joker appears. Now Joker's a masked figure who grants one's dreams. Why he does this and who he is a complete mystery. However, upon his arrival, he doesn't grant dreams and instead steals the souls of Eikichi's gang. He then proceeds to attack Tatsuya, Eikichi, and Lisa. For some reason, he's angry at them and wants them dead. However, once he realizes that the group does not remember what they did to him, he decides to spare them for now. Eikichi is of course angered at what Joker has done to his gang members and wants to find Joker and defeat him. Tatsuya and Lisa decide to join Eikichi in the fight against Joker. Cozy meanwhile can't exactly fight Joker, but she does want to help by rounding up as much information as she can about Joker. She also tells them that there's a rumor going around that a ramen shop is selling weapons and they should go there to arm themselves. They head to the ramen shop and meet Tadashi, who directs them to Kuzonoha Detective Agency. There, they meet Tamaki and the chief of the agency, Todoroki. After explaining the incident with Joker, the agency decides to spread rumors to help the group fight him. We'll call these counter-rumors. While checking to see if a counter-rumor that was spread by the agency has become true, they meet Cozy, who tells them that Principal Hanya, the principal of Seven Sisters High School, is apparently meeting a masked figure. With this lead, the group decides to head to Seven Sisters High. Once at the school, they learn that the curse has come true. Students' faces are becoming disfigured due to the emblems. Tatsuya and the gang begin desperately looking for Hanya, who they assume is the culprit behind this. While searching, they meet Maya Amano and Yukino Mayuzumi, a journalist and photographer who, after being attacked by demons, reveal themselves to be persona users as well. After briefing the ladies on the past events, the two decide to join their party. The newly formed party decides to draw Hanya out of hiding by destroying the clocks in the school, which would end the emblem curse. In the process of destroying these clocks, we learn that Eikichi and Cozy had a thing a few years back, but they aren't dating anymore. In fact, Eikichi doesn't even realize that Cozy has gotten overweight. He thinks that she's still a beautiful, slim lady. This is important, so don't think that this is just a random detail. After destroying all the clocks, there's only one left, and that's the biggest one inside the clock tower. Inside the clock tower, Hanya shows himself, and reveals that he is working with Joker. He swore fealty to Joker to have his wish granted, that wish being that the students at Seven Sisters will obey him, and he'll have a full head of hair, because that's incredibly important. But he was not the one to start the emblem curse. Joker, who is also next to Hanya, reveals that Tatsuya supposedly stole Joker's dreams, and that's why he wants them dead. We don't know what Joker's dream is, and he quickly disappears after saying that, and the party begins to fight Hanya. After taking down Hanya, he jumps out of the clock tower to his supposed death, which then removes the final clock in the school and lifts the curse. With no more leads left, they need to find a new rumor. They assume that Cozy would have information and go looking for her. While searching for Cozy, we learn that the students who spread the curse are at a club named Zodiac. We also learn that Cozy went to infiltrate this club and hasn't been seen since. After entering the club, we learn that Cuss High has replaced Eikichi with a new boss. His name is Hiroki Sugimoto, and apparently he's not very strong, but thanks to a rumor, everyone thinks he is. Sugimoto also happens to be the one who spread the rumor about the curse, and he has Cozy. The party heads to a secret room in the back of the club and meets Sugimoto, who reveals to Eikichi that Cozy is the one he had admired in the past. This leads to some character development for Eikichi, who decides that he doesn't care how Cozy looks, and he then decides not to even bother using his persona against Sugimoto and just punches him in the face. And it's awesome. Sugimoto, being the wimp that he is, quickly surrenders and reveals to the group that Yasuo, the student council president of Cuss High, is in league with Joker. Yasuo told Sugimoto to spread the curse rumor. We also learned that once Joker grants someone a wish, she or he must join an organization called the Masked Circle. The party now knows to head to Cuss High to find Yasuo. Upon arriving at the school, Eikichi tells the team that Yasuo has been preparing a student festival. Yasuo lures Tatsuya's crew to the basement, where he traps them in an abandoned air raid tunnel. This tunnel is rumored to have an exit that no one can find. However, one person has supposedly escaped this tunnel by using reflections. While looking for the exit, Maya and Tatsuya have a little moment where Maya shows Tatsuya her stuffed rabbit that she likes to talk to. It's kinda sweet. Whatever. We also see that Tatsuya has a flashback. And in this flashback, baby Tatsuya, well, little kid Tatsuya, and his friend, who is just called Boy, decide to trade their most prized possessions. Tatsuya gives the boy his father's watch. while the boy gives Tatsuya the lighter that Tatsuya is constantly holding. Other than the lighter thing, we don't really know what this scene signifies, but I'm sure it'll be important later on. After the flashback and back to the present day, the team is able to escape the tunnel by using Yukino's camera. They take pictures and that reveals the exit. It's a little silly, but it's alright. It turns out that the school festival Yasuo has been setting up was a trick to steal the souls of the entire student body. Our heroes chase Yasuo to the roof, where we learn that there are executives in the masked circle who harvest energy from people for an unknown purpose. Suddenly, two of these executives appear, Lady Scorpio and King Leo. Leo disintegrates Yasuo and reveals that he's the highest of the four executives. We also learn that Leo has a deep grudge against Maya. Maya reveals, after Leo and Scorpio are gone, that Leo has apparently been stalking her for years. Unfortunately, unable to stop Yasuo and the two executives, the students of Cuss High have all been turned to Shadowmen. And Shadowmen, by the way, are people without hopes or dreams whose souls have been taken by the Crystal Skull. And so the crew begins to look for new leads. They decide the best place to check is at the detective agency. There, Tadashi reveals that there's a new rumor going around that Lisa is going to be part of a new music group called the Muses. The Muses are apparently shooting a video at Mew Casino. The party decides to head to Mew Casino to prevent that rumor from coming true. The last thing they need is for the group to suddenly be split up. They also want to learn why the Masked Circle has even bothered to spread this rumor. Upon entering the casino, Miho and Mami, Lisa's friends, are waiting for them. They confirm that Lisa is the third member of the Muses. However, Lisa tells them that she doesn't want to be an idol, and Miho and Mami, who are disappointed, tell Lisa that they will be at Giga Macho if she changes her mind. Yukino and Maya thinks that they should follow them for information. At Giga Macho, we meet Genji Sasaki, Miho and Mami's producer, who announces Lisa as the third member of the Muses, just as the party arrives. Maya convinces Lisa to go with them and collect as much information about the Masked Circle as she possibly can. Lisa agrees and goes with Sasaki to the outdoor concert hall. There, Genji, Miho, and Mami try to persuade Lisa into betraying the party and join Joker in the Masked Circle. Genji reveals himself to be Prince Taurus and has Lisa call Joker. Thankfully, Tatsuya and Eikichi arrive to help fight Taurus. They defeat Taurus, but then Leo shows up. He reveals that 4 buildings have been set to blow. The first is the concert hall. However, there is also a riddle that will lead to the next bomb location. There isn't enough time to stop both the bomb and the riddle, so the group grabs the riddle and the concert hall explodes. Unable to figure out the riddle, Yukino calls her friend Ellie to help. Ellie is also a Persona user, and I think she might have been in the first game? It made it seem that way. With the help of Ellie, it is discovered that the next bomb is in a building called Smile Hirasaka. The bomb, however, is being guarded by a demon named Belphegor and a young Persona user named Ixquick. The two are more comic relief than anything and are quickly disposed of. With the bomb defused, they head for the next location, which happens to be a fitness club named Gold. Maya's friend and roommate, Ulala, happens to go to Gold, and it turns out that Ulala's ex-fiancé is the one who set the bombs in the first place. Ulala is pretty angry about this, especially since her fiancé kind of ditched their wedding and took her money, and so she reveals that she's a Persona user and takes out the ex-fiancé herself while we defuse the bomb. The next riddle isn't really a riddle and just tells us to head to the Aerospace Museum. Of course, the Aerospace Museum is a trap, and shortly after entering, Leo sets the place on fire. To make matters worse, there is a group of children on a school field trip, and they are now trapped with them. Luckily, Tadashi and Tamaki, the detectives from the agency, are also there to help round up the Rugrats and take them to the roof, which is currently the only place not on fire. Ixquick, who was abandoned by Leo, is also in trouble and we have to save her. During this rescue attempt, Tatsuya has another flashback. In this flashback, we see young Tatsuya using his persona for the first time to save who I can only assume to be a young Maya from a mysterious man who has trapped her in a burning shrine. Back in the present, we see King Leo on the roof, and he has everyone cornered. We arrive just in time for Leo to take Ixquick hostage. He then takes off his mask and reveals himself to be the same man as the one in the flashback. His name is Tatsuya Sudo, which is the exact same as the main character's name, only he has a D in the middle of it. I don't know if that has any significance, I'm just pointing that out. He then reveals that he has another transmitter that will set off all the bombs we thought we had disarmed, and he then proceeds to use it. Unfortunately for Leo, the building that he has set on fire is now structurally unsound, and the floor beneath him collapses into the flames below. Everyone else boards a restaurant that used to be a blimp. Thankfully, there was a rumor that the blimp still worked, and they used the blimp to escape from the collapsing building. But of course it can't be that simple. The blimp begins to crash, and King Leo reveals that he is, in fact, on the blimp. Turns out he can teleport. At this point, Leo is very clearly mentally unstable, and goes down fairly easily. Unfortunately, so does the blimp. Luckily, the blimp is over water, and there isn't a very large fall, so everyone is able to evacuate safely. Once everyone's back on land, Maya receives a call from Ulala, who warns her that a new rumor is spreading. Apparently, the party is now part of the masked circle and are wanted as culprits for the bombings. Of course, we can't let this rumor come true, because then we'll turn into terrorists, and we don't want that. And so, to prevent this from happening, they have the field trip students spread a counter-rumor to cancel out this current rumor. The group then decides to split up to avoid looking suspicious and meet back at the detective agency. Eikichi and Yukino arrive first, Tatsuya and Lisa arrive second, Maya arrives much later, and she seems a little odd. However, at the agency, we meet Miss Ideal, who apparently can explain everything that is going on. It turns out, the masked circle is actually the last remaining radicals of the Führer, or in other words, Nazis, who are looking for an alien starship underneath the city to bring about the next step in human evolution, causing mass extinction on Earth. Oh, and Hitler is still alive, so you know, that's nice. And to make matters more complicated, Lisa and Eikichi remember events from their childhood, which of course Joker wanted them to. Lisa asks to go to Elias Shrine, where she will reveal the true origin of the Masked Circle and Joker. Now at this point, we've gone through all 23 episodes, and all that's left to explain is what has been happening in this video. Now I'm going to assume that you've only been listening to my lovely voice and haven't been reading the text. So during this episode, we head to the shrine, and then after 23 episodes, Philemon shows his face again and tells us to walk into the cave behind the shrine to truly remember the past. And then he leaves. Thanks for the work, Philemon. You are the real MVP. Once in the cave, well, honestly, we haven't finished the cave. And so, I don't know everything that happens in there. All I know is that Eikichi, Tatsuya, Lisa, and a fourth mysterious person, who I can only assume will wind up being Joker, are the original members of the Masked Circle. But it was never actually Nazis, or at least it didn't start out that way. In reality, it's just a bunch of kids who had no friends, who happened to meet each other at a festival, and all four of which were wearing masks. And so from that day on, they decided never to take their masks off when meeting each other, and they called themselves the Masked Circle. That's it. Now, I don't know what happens further on, and I don't know how the Joker is created, but I assume we're going to get to that in the next episode. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the summary. Let me know what you think about it. I'm thinking about doing this once every 20-ish episodes or so. Of course, in the future, I'll use video that corresponds to what I'm actually saying. The only reason why I didn't this time is because the summary was an afterthought. Originally, this was going to be an actual video that was going to continue the series, but all the audio had been corrupted, and I had no other option except to either do a post-commentary or a summary. And since it's been so long since my last episode, I decided to try the summary idea. So let me know what you think about it. And for those of you who are leaving now, thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good night. And for those of you sticking around, because as you can see there is quite a bit of episode left, I'm going to discuss some theories on where the story, I think anyway, where the story is headed. My first theory is that Hanya, who jumped out of the clock tower window, didn't actually die. He was too major of a character at the time for them to just waste him. At least that's how I feel. Maybe I'm mistaken and maybe he's still alive, but it feels like he's going to be alive again, and he's going to be maybe the fourth executive. I don't think that's true, although it's possible. My other candidates for the fourth executive would be Ulala. She's a Persona user, and she seemed to be kind of iffy to me, I don't know. Or Maya. Which leads me to my next theory, that Maya isn't actually Maya. It's her, I guess you could say, evil twin? And I think that, okay, here's my reasoning on the whole idea that she has an evil twin. I think that when we spread the rumor, the counter rumor to the terrorist rumor, it created a second group of us, of the party. Because a large chunk of people believed the terrorist rumor, and a large chunk believed in the non-terrorist. And so there's suddenly two conflicting rumors, and so now we have a group of terrorists and a group of non-terrorists. And I think that we are currently in company with the terrorist Maya. Now that leaves 3 options for the real Maya. Actually 4. The first is that she's actually turned evil, and that she's actually evil. That would be disappointing, but it's possible. The second is that evil Maya killed current Maya. Not current Maya, the good Maya. That would be disappointing as well, but it's possible. The third is that Maya's been kidnapped by evil Maya, and we're gonna have to save her at some point. That's alright. My personal favorite is that Maya's totally fine, and she just happened to arrive at the agency after everyone else left, and she's just really confused as to what's going on. I hope that's what happened, but I have a feeling that that's not what happened. I suppose there's a 5th theory that she was dead all along, and evil Maya's always been evil Maya, and she just pretended to be good, but I feel like that's the least likely out of all of them. Also, the theory on who Joker is. I feel like this isn't even a theory at this point. I think it's pretty obvious that the actual villain, the actual Joker, is going to be that last kid in the masked circle. Easily. Either that or the boy who gave Tatsuya his lighter. And there's also the possibility that the boy who gave Tatsuya his lighter also happens to be the last member of the masked circle, because they both had black hair. That's really the only connection to those two, by the way, so that seems a little unlikely. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's possible. Oh yeah, and there's also evidence behind this doppelganger theme. As I was watching these past 23 episodes, I noticed a little theme in some of the things that people were saying. The first quote that I found happens to be from Chief Todoroki in episode 2, where he says, "There's only one of you in the world, that's just plain common sense, but who can prove it?" Another quote is from Maya quoting Dare Doppelganger in part 5, when she says, I shudder when I behold his face. The moon reveals to me my own likeness. You, doppelganger, you pale companion. And the third happens to be after the blimp scene, so that makes much more likely that that scene happened to create evil versions of ourselves. When just talking to one of the green guys, the blue-collar man, in part 23, he says, "How did you get here?" No, he says, "Huh? Did you just get here? I could have sworn I just saw you going that way. I must have been seeing things." I don't know why he turned a little Italian at the end then, but whatever. I mean, the game is kind of heavily hinting at this doppelganger thing, but if you do know the answer, please do not tell me. Half the fun of these stories is to not know what is going on. It's just a theory at this point. So yeah. Those are my theories. The first, Hanya's still alive. The second, the fourth executive is either going to be Hanya or Ulala. The third is that... the second is actually that the fourth executive is going to be Hanya, Ulala, or Evil Maya. The third is that the real Maya has been kidnapped by the Evil Maya, or been killed by the Evil Maya, or just happens to be somewhere else. The fourth is that Joker is the fourth member of the original Masked Circle, and the fifth is that everyone in the group has a doppelganger. That's all for now. Have a good day, have a good night, and see you next time.